So, you know how sometimes a tragic event or a big disaster can bring people together? Well, I found that to be true. Now, what I'm referring to here is the Penn State Jerry Sandusky, Joe Paterno child sex scandal debacle. Now, in the layers and layers of disturbingness, if that's a word, that is going on in this whole scandal, in the confusion of all of it, Michele Bachmann was asked about what she thinks about it, and she said, to paraphrase, I would beat the shit out of him. So, for the first time ever, Michele Bachmann has said something that I agree with. Ha! For the first time, Michele Bachmann has said something that I actually agree with. There are no words. This is incredible. This is amazing. This is a first timer. I would like to say to Michele Bachmann, if you maybe in the future continue to think rationally like that, like in this issue, then maybe people won't think you're so crazy. Just, little advice. Okay. So now getting a little bit more into the Penn State thing, I was debating about whether or not to talk about this, and I finally decided to, because everyone else in the whole world is. So, basically, my understanding of the scandal is you got this assistant coach who, in his free time, runs this charity for children called the Second Mile. And it turns out that he's actually using the charity to be able to have young boys at his disposal so that he can shower with them and touch them and rape them, etc., etc., etc. It's a horrible, horrible scandal. Now, Joe Paterno was the head coach, and so he was ultimately viewed as responsible, and so that's why he got fired, and plus it looked bad if Penn State let him stay, and plus he's 80-something, so he should retire anyway. But, everyone knows that Paterno was not ultimately, he wasn't the person who was raping those children, but he was the guy who had a lot of clout that knew about it and didn't do enough. He just sent it up to the next person. And when you're Joe Paterno, you need to do more than that. Now, there was apparently a janitor who saw something happening and then just passed it up to the next person above him. Now, that's okay to do if you are a janitor because you have no clout, you have no power. However, when you are Joe freaking Paterno, you have that power and you can see to it that something is done. So, I'm a little short on time today, but my general points I would like to make is I agree with Michele Bachmann about this when she said she wants to beat the crap out of this guy. And don't go too hard on Joe Paterno. Focus more on the guy who actually raped those children, Jerry Sandusky, who has 40-plus charges against him now. Focus on him. Let's not get distracted by Joe Paterno, because I'm afraid that that's what we're going to try to do. That's what I'm afraid is going to possibly happen. We're going to get distracted with Joe Paterno, and we're not going to actually pay attention to the guy who was actually raping these children.